Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to the next episode of Luke's Landies here. Today we're going to be working on the white one again, and as you can see, it now has a tray on it. Shout out to my mate Falk for hooking me up with the tray. Thanks heaps, mate, really appreciate it. But yeah, so that's the tray we got for it. Bit hard to see, hang on. That's the tray. So as you can see at the moment, it's a bit short, and I know guys, we're jumping all over the place going front to back, but that doesn't really matter. So I'm going to extend it out so it's 2450 overall length. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sleeve the inside of this rail with that smaller box section. You can see I've already got it in over there, and yeah, once I've got that, I'm going to get the box the same size as its stuff and put it over the top and extend it out. And I'm thinking I'm going to finish the back of it just like the green one. So yeah, should be fairly straightforward. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have to chop this back a little bit because it started to be chopped and then someone stopped. So chop the end of that off nice and square. This side's the same. Got a bit of a chop mark in it there, so we'll chop them off so they're nice and square and cut these to length. It's a Sunday today, so I've got to get the steel for the rest of it for the over the top bit tomorrow. But yeah, other than that, we'll extend it out, finish the back off, and then obviously it's got to come back off and get painted and all that sort of stuff, and I've got to get a bit of check plate for the top of it. But other than that, yeah, so that's what we're going to be doing today, is extending the tray, finishing it off, and then we'll go through the mounts and everything. This frame was on it when I got it, which makes it easy. It's got all the mounts, all the pickup points, including this one across the rear crossmember here. So yeah, we'll get to it, measure that up to the length we need it, cut her off, and then I'll show you. I'm going to drill and plug weld it, which I did on this one. It's not finished real nice, I just painted it up so it wouldn't rust. But yeah, so I just drilled and plug welded there and then butt welded the two rails together. So yeah, we'll get to it. So guys, as you can see, I got it marked out there. Well, actually, maybe you can't see. Yeah, there you go. So I got it marked out there, nice and straight, nice and square up over the top. It's going to be a little bit touch and go on the back side, but it's not going to matter a great deal anyway because there'll be a weld there when the new bit of steel goes on. So I've measured that to 2040 there, so I'll cut that off, and then I'll measure the bit to insert in the middle, and I'll come out about 150 mil inside either way into the box, just so it's braced nicely inside, and cut it. And I won't actually plug weld it until I got the bit on the other side, so I can tack it all so I know it's all dead straight as one piece, and then I'll weld it all together and go from there. I've got this really cool angle doodad, hang on. So when I get the new bit, I've got this thing which is magnetic. You stick it on and that hangs at your angle, and then you can set this little slider to wherever it is. So like that, and then once I got the new bit of metal on here, I can just stick it to it and make sure it's exact same angle, and away we go. Then it'll be perfectly straight with this. I mean, obviously you got to make sure it's square like that way as well, but you could just measure that diagonally or just with a straight edge across it. But yeah, so I'll cut these off, and then we'll measure that, drill holes in this and all that, so we can get some good plug welds on it, and yeah, we should be good to go. Ta-da! So there we have one nice flush edge. Flush with the end of that box, flush there, nice and square, so we can get a good nice straight edge to weld on. So obviously I'm only going to be able to weld the new box on 3 sides, bottom, this side, top side, a little bit down there in this corner, but 3's better than none. I can actually weld it across the top of this box and around the bottom if I wanted to. I think I might. I like to overkill things. I'd rather it too strong than not strong enough. So now onto this side, just the same thing. I'll just cut her off there, and yeah, hopefully it'll be just the same and flush with the end of that box, and should be beautiful. I didn't plan that to happen. That was a happy accident, that. So yeah, now we'll cut this side off and get it done. Alright, so that one's cut off too. You can see I sort of jibbed the weld, the grind cut there a little bit. It's got a little bit of step in it, but should be alright. And it did end up dead flush with the end of that box again, which is perfect. So yeah, this frame's full of dirt. We'll have to clean it out before we weld it, but I've already cleaned some of it out. Yeah, so there we are. Now we'll measure this bit up and yeah, cut out a length so we know how much we need. So the overall length to here, the outside of it, is going to be 2450. So the actual tray length is going to be 2400. Yeah, 2400, and the overall length will be 2450, including this rear face plate that I'm going to put on it. So yeah, we'll measure that up and get it done. So I've got to set up here, guys. I'm gonna cut them, the inserts, at 200mm. I figured it's probably not gonna need to be 300 long. Go into each one 150. I'll put 2 plug welds at each end at 125 and 175. Like drill holes into here. And then we've got 2 plug welds there, and then I'll do the same on the new bit when we get it. You know, it's nice and strong then. Obviously we're only going to be doing outside welds, at least on this bit that's already here, just because you can't get to the inside because this box, it's actually double. There's another box right next to it. I don't know why that is. Maybe that was going to be the end of the tray. Don't really know. But yeah, anyway, so I'm going to double plug weld the outside of this one, and maybe plug weld inside and outside of that one, or just double outside. So yeah, I'll mark them, and yeah, I'll mark them up and cut them, and we'll place them in here, drill the holes in here, and we'll be right to go when we get the steel tomorrow. So guys, there we are, one piece. I was trying to cut it dead straight, but then I remembered halfway through that it doesn't actually need to be, because I'm not butt welding it, I'm just using it as a guide piece in the middle. And yeah, I know that it's not tight in there, but you know, it's better than nothing. Better than just slide the new bit on and butt welding it. So yeah, now I'll drill the 2 holes in here, or actually now I'll cut another one of these, measure and cut another one of these, and then I'll drill 2 holes in here and mark this, how deep in it needs to be, and yeah, do the same on the other side, and then wait till tomorrow when I can go buy 2 bits of metal, or a bit of metal to extend this. Oh yeah, sorry, 2 bits, because then I need a bit for the back as well to finish it off. And I'm going to cut these off so they're nice and tidy, because this frame obviously had another tray on it at some point that someone's just gas axed off it. So I'm just gonna zap them off, and yeah, this tray isn't welded to the frame yet, so all that's gonna come off anyway. Obviously gonna put new bolts in it all. Yeah, all that's gonna come off once it's all welded and done. Rip the whole lot off again, paint it all, and then once it's all painted, I'll stick it back on. Or after I've done painting of the chassis and tank and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, be good. So there we are, guys. 2 bits at 200. So I'm going to grind this whole side nice and shiny. I've got a flapper wheel there. I'll grind one side of both of them so we can get a good weld on it. That'll be this outside edge, and obviously the same on the other side. That's so we can, when we plug weld it, we can get a good weld, and when we do this bead, we can get into these as well, which is the goal. Normally leave a little bit of a gap between the 2 bits of steel and weld them together, so we can weld into this and weld into the 2 bits here. So yeah, I'll clean that up. I'll mark halfway on both of them, because then so obviously so I know we're halfway, so I get half into this bit and half into the other bit. Mark them, grind them, and then mark 2 holes, drill 2 holes, and yeah, and then wait till tomorrow when I've got the rest of the bits of metal. So there we are, guys, all marked out, center punched. So I come 25 in and then 75, so there'll be 25 mil in here and 25 mil on that end, 50 mil between them. So that's what I'm going to use for my weld, for my weld points. Now I'm going to drill them out. I'll start with a small bit and go up to a biggest bit I've got, which is a 13 mil bit, and then you'll see when I do it, I just fill the hole with weld and she's good to go. Alrighty, so there we are, 2 holes drilled. That slides in there, and then you can see that's how it'll weld. I'll obviously hold it out so it's hard against it, measure it halfway. Oh, I haven't measured it yet, but yeah, you get the idea. Mark a line on it, you got them there. Slide the other bit on, tack it all together, weld it up once you know where it's got to go. Alright, guys, so back at it again today. Got the steel here, everything we're going to need to finish it. Anything else I need I've got over there in the corner. That bench was clean like a week ago, but anyway. So yeah, we got that there. Haven't done anything else, so what I'm going to do is measure that. So this bit will be the rear of it, like I was saying yesterday, like that one. It's not quite as wide, but you know, should do the job. And that one's going to be our side rails. So that's 35 by 65 box, which will go in here and come out. So I'll measure that up and cut that to length, drill a couple of holes in it, times 2, and then we'll be good. Then we can start welding, I think. So we've got our bit of steel marked out here, 360 mil. So I got that because the tray length to here is 2040, so 2 meters and 4 centimeters. 2 meters and 40 mil. Anyway, so there, and then we're going 2450 overall length. So I want this to go to 2400 because that will be an extra 50 on the end. So 360 mil, and that'll bring it out to like there somewhere, ish. So that's all marked. I marked it right around so I can cut it nice and square. Be heaps easier if you had like a bandsaw or a drop saw, but I don't. I've got a grinder, so that'll do the job. And if I had a nice long steel rule, I'd mark them both out, so then I know I'm measuring off a dead square edge. But anyway, I don't have one of them either, so tape measure and 30cm ruler. But yeah, so I'll cut that one and then mark the next one and sit them up and make sure I'm happy with it. So there we are, guys. One close enough to square cut. So yeah, now I'll just measure that again onto this piece and cut that, and we'll have two. So there we are, all marked out. Cut number 2. So there we are, guys, holes are drilled. I'm actually going to do this a little bit different to when I did that tray. I'm going to weld these two pieces together, or sorry, tack them together outside of the tray sort of thing, because then I can get them dead straight. I had a little bit of drama last time with trying to hold 2 or 3 pieces square when I was extending that one. So if I do this, I can get these two dead square together, tack them up. I'm not going to finish weld them in case something needs to move. So I'm just going to bang 2 tacks in there and just one up in this corner in here. So then it holds it all together in one piece. I can't move it, I can't break it. So yeah, then that'll be together. And then what we'll do is we'll slot it all in here as one piece, line it up with them, clamp it all together, tack it all up, check squares, do the same to the other side, check all the squares, and then finish weld both sides, because I really don't want the tray to not be square. So guys, got it all ground up, got these all tacked in. Now I'm going to just sort of hold this as square as I can, tack it once here and tack it once here, and then get straight edges and everything and straighten up and tap it with a hammer and get it all square. So guys, I went and bought clamps because, you know, trying to do this without clamps just isn't any fun. As you can see, I did try to do it without clamps. I even tacked a bit on here and then tacked it out to the end of here so it wouldn't move, and anyway, didn't work. So I just went down the street and got some clamps. So now that's all square. It's square this way, like square along the face, and square angle wise. So Shouldn't have to worry about the angle because it's clamped up like this. I mean the vertical angle, the like lengthways angle with the car. I'll check once I've tacked it all and everything. I'm going to put some decent tacks on it, but because I was having trouble getting it to stick before. So anyway, I'll get to tack and see how we go. So there we are, guys. One side done. Don't know what happened. I went to look for the video of the welding and it's not there. Because when I picked the camera up it wasn't recording. I thought it might have just stopped, but yeah, don't know what happened there. But there's no video of the welding, so I'll try and get it doing the other side. Not that it's that interesting, but yeah, anyway, I'll just try and get a video of it doing the other side. But there it is, all ground up, nice and pretty. I'll get, before I paint it, before I finish painting, I'm obviously going to just throw a bit of spray paint on that now to stop it rusting. But before I paint it, I'll put some filler in the low spots and sand it and make it all nice and smooth. So it looks nice and pretty, you won't even be able to tell. But yeah, so there's one side done, we'll get the other side done, and then we can just start on the back bit, cut it to length, and I think I might shape the back of it like that one, it just looks pretty. So yeah, we'll get to it. So there we are, guys, got all this one all squared up, ready to zap. So we'll get that one welded up, and yeah, she's coming along nicely. And that's the circuit breaker blowing. Alright, we'll be back in action. So there we are, guys. This side all nice and finished and polished up and tidy. I'll give both sides just a quick lick of paint, just with whatever I've got laying around, so that it doesn't rust. And then, obviously I'll have to filler that like I said on the other side, so it's all nice and smooth before I finish paint it. But yeah, so now we're just going to do the back bit. It goes on the back there, and we will put a rail between this end and that end, wherever it is there. We'll put a rail with a bar between the two, so when I get more checker plate, it'll just sit on that. Yeah, other than that, she's looking good. These are all nice and square. So guys, back at it again today. Didn't actually get it done yesterday, but all I've got to do today is put this back bit on. I've tacked these on. They'll hold the sheet, the top sheet, right at the back when I get it. I was going to run a bar right the way across, but I don't actually have enough steel, so I'll just put those two in for now. And I'll probably weld another one about the same length in the middle of this when it's on. And then when I get the sheet, I got a heap of sheet for this one. I can't remember where from, but yeah, anyway. So I got to cut that to length, cut the angles on it, and so here we go. I think I'm going to weld it on before I cut the angles, just so I know where to cut from, I guess. Know what's going to look best for this tray, because this is cut to 50mm here on this end. But this is 65 and this is only 100 wide, so I don't know, we'll see how we go. We might end up having to cut the corner off this here, but we'll just see. I'll tack it on and have a look at it and decide what angles I'm going to do, if I'm going to do angles at all. So yeah, we'll get cutting. So got her all cut the length, rigged up, ready to weld, and it's just sitting on a car jack on top of the welder, but that's fine. Yeah, so now I'll just tack that on pretty heftily. I want to make sure it's tacked on there well. Oh, I've just realised I put it the wrong way around. The clean side's out here. Bugger! I'll be back in a minute. Alright guys, now it's up there, ready to go, in place. Now I'll zap it together. Alright guys, there we are, welded on. I'm going to let that cool down and air out a little bit. It smells a bit rank being gal. But yeah, so you'll notice I wasn't doing continuous welds, I was sort of just doing big tack welds, multiple big tack welds. That's because if I do a big continual weld with that welder in this shed, it actually pops the breaker on the power board over there. Oh, which reminds me, I unplugged the fridge and didn't plug it back in. Anyway, so yeah, it's on. It's not going to go anywhere. Once it's cooled down a bit, I'll do the inside ones. I'll come up and do the inside here, and the same on that side. Yeah, basically that's going to be her. So, honest opinions, Do I cut an angle on it, or do I leave it like that? I don't actually mind it like that. I could weld like light hoops underneath it, or not that big, just like little light hoops underneath it, and hang a couple lights under it. Don't know what lights I'm going to run either, because if I'd cut it on an angle, I was going to run lights like those ones, or either like those ones or the long, thin, skinny ones, which look kind of cool as well. But yeah, so I don't know. Let me know what you reckon, what style of light, and whether I should angle it or not, because it's going to have to be angled from sort of there, there. So you're not going to get a real big angle on it anyway. But yeah, tell me what you reckon. So that's her basically. Kind of hard to see because it's in the shed, but I'll take everything off it and I'll get another shot. So there we are, guys. I just painted it all black so it'll look pretty. But yeah, you get the idea. I think you have probably all seen a ute tray before. So that's her. Tell me what you reckon, whether we should cut it on an angle or leave it like that, and what sort of lights we should get, and whether we should do the little hoops for the lights and all that. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Make sure you like, subscribe, share it with your mates. Hope you enjoyed it, and hope to see you next time.